And now, the Rise Above Show, presented by Roofing.com and hosted by Diego Dante.
All right, welcome to the Rise Above Show presented by Roofing.com. My name is Diego Dante. We are here in Salt Lake City, Utah at Door to Door Con with my friends, the Quativa team. How you guys doing?
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get a chance. Let's go ahead and introduce you guys so people know who you guys are, what Quativa does. So go ahead. We start right here, and then you guys, and then go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Dallen Gietz, and I am the CEO and founder of Quativa.
Right on.
I'm Clinton Ehrlich, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
Right on. And so what does Quativa do?
Marketing man, let's do this.
I love when he looks over at me. He's like, "Yeah, you go take this." I mean, we're a complete end-to-end solution for solar sales professionals to kind of sell and manage solar projects. One of the things that we do uniquely as well is we connect the sale to a specific EPC based on some criteria that we vet and we manage and make sure that the job's going to get installed by the right installer. And so it's a little bit unique because there's a lot of incredible apps out there that do portions of the sale, things that do canvassing, things that do proposals. What we do is everything. So our app is a single solution, and what it does is actually allows you to go canvassing, generate a proposal, create a design, go through financing, get your customer approved, and then actually schedule your first appointment with them, and then you can track and manage that through the entire process.
I love it. And you forgot to mention that you've got some of the best swag in the game. I'm wearing my Quativa lapel pin right now, and your booth is also set up really nicely. I think I was telling one of you guys that I went into your booth and I had this epiphany of how I want my booth to look like going forward, just from how good you guys did setting it up. So
you gotta keep going, because this helps me keep
blowing
my
your
job.
head up.
No, it helps me keep my job.
Clinton absolutely destroyed it. I mean, what he did was he took this fun theme of skiing, because solar is it's very traditional, but with our app, you can sell it from anywhere. You can be on the ski lift and going down, get on a snowboard, talking to someone next to you about solar, and all of a sudden you pull out your phone, and before you get to the top, you could have sold the whole deal.
I want a whole commercial with guys just skiing down the mountain selling solar, because that's going to be... Look at how easy we made it.
Yeah, we may do that next year. I don't know if our investors will be happy if I shot that commercial.
As long as they're real deals.
Yeah, true.
All right, so I wanted to bring you guys on because one of the big things that we hear in the roofing industry is contractors saying, I want to get into solar, but I don't really know how to. I don't know what the first steps are. It seems like a lot of people want to do it, but just don't understand how to. So I wanted to bring on professionals like you guys that really know what they're talking about, so we can give value to our listeners. So let's start chatting about that. If I'm a roofing contractor, I want to get into solar, I don't know the first thing about this. I just know that that's where the industry's going, and I got to team up the two. I truly do think that the roofing and solar industry are just tied hand in hand, right?
Absolutely.
So if I'm wanting to get into solar, what are the things that I need to start looking out for? What are the things that I need to do?
Well, I think if you're looking to get into solar from roofing, you don't need to dive in. I mean, start small. Start with what you're already comfortable with. You're already out there. You're already contracting with homeowners to sell a roof. So the first thing I would start doing is adding on a solar system. You don't need to do the solar system yourself. You don't need to build it yourself, but get educated to be able to talk to the consumer about solar, be able to answer their questions. So it is getting trained. It is being able to just get educated. I think a lot of people think that they need to go into the science of solar and overly explain how it all works, but really it is all about educating about the savings, about how net metering works, about just the benefits of solar and what it can do for you, and start there. And then you don't need to go into full installation right out of the gate. Start with just understanding the consumer and what matters to them. Start the selling process. Once you've got that down, you can start to scale more and more. But in order to even start to sell it, you need to have someone on the back end that can really fulfill for you. Don't tackle that first. That's that is a very complicated piece of the business that I wouldn't encourage someone to dive into right out of the gate. Start small, start with the sales side of things. Once you've got a machine going and you're wanting to bring on electricians and scale bigger, go for it. But right out of the gate, the things you need to look for is finding a good installer. And that's hard to do, because as a roofer, you don't know what matters or what to the consumer, or how to really vet a good installer. So that is why we created Quativa, because what we do is we have access to the back ends of these installers. We can see their pipelines, their cycles, their quality of customer service, and how they're really able to deliver. And so we go out there and we analyze and vet a whole bunch of different installers, bringing them together to really make it where you can help where we can bring them to you, so you don't have to struggle with that vetting process.
And one of the things, just to add to vetting installers is and this is not to be shameless plugs for Quativa, but one of the things that we do uniquely as well is when you work with us, your job isn't going to a specific installer, it's going to the right one. So we've got multiple installers in each market, in multiple markets, and what we're going to do is match up that specific project with the installer that's been pre-vetted that is the best for that job. And we're going to look at that because we're going to look at install times, we're going to look at availability of product, we're going to look at reviews, we're going to look at all the things that make that installer a vetted installer with us. But we are constantly vetting, so we're always looking at a job-by-job basis. So it's not just once you're on the platform with us, great, you're in. We want you to be the best all the time so that we can deliver to our sales partners the best every single time. And just to add on to the training thing, what we've done is we've partnered with door-to-door experts. We're here. We've available through our platform is door-to-door experts training, the videos and everything else like that. We also partner with Knockstar University. We've done different private programs with them as well. And so there's lots of opportunities to get educated before you even start selling. Like, go learn, go understand how it works before you even start saying, let's sell solar. Let's see if it's something that you even want to be in, and can you learn about it before you even get started. So it's important. The education part, not just on selling, but understanding the questions that consumers are going to ask you.
I love it. So let's talk about technology a little bit as well, because with roofing contractors, obviously you're wanting to get started with roofing, you're going to want to have, some sort of app that's going to, there's measuring apps for roofs, there's, hail mapping apps, there's canvassing apps. Those are kind of some of the big things that you want to have in your tool case for to be able to perform the job and to be able to have a successful business. So if you're going into solar, what are some of the software and technology that you're going to want to have?
Great question. If you're canvassing and you're out there doing door-to-door, you're going to need to have a canvassing portion to your app and technology to be able to track the doors and be more highly effective and be able to have some homeowner insight, so you're not just going out there in the raw, cold, uninformed, and you can be hyper-targeting and really have a much higher conversion. So finding an app that has some canvassing, if that's your approach for marketing, is going to be very, very important. The next piece is you're going to have to figure out how to design the system. And so you have tons of platforms out there that allow you to design solar. And so the design part is one piece, and then the next part is actually the proposal and sharing that with the homeowner and sharing the value. So there's some great apps out there, but what we've done is we've took the best of each of them and put them all together in an end-to-end solution. And so not just the end-to-end solution, but then also backing that with great installers. But when you're looking for software, it really is finding the ones that allow you to be more present with the homeowner, be there, not distract you. It really is to make you more efficient and really let you be present with the homeowner and really convey the value of solar.
I just want to add, I think, we've had the opportunity to really spend a lot of time with reps and owners of sales orgs, and, just like going door to door or selling roofing or anything else, there's a mindset that you need to be ready for and understand. And a lot of the training, I'm going to go back to the training for a second, a lot of the training teaches some of this, is how do you overcome this? But Dallen talked about data and having data, and it's kind of know before you go. And so, we have something called Q data. What Q data does is actually pulls up homeowner information. So before you even go knock a neighborhood, you can draw a territory. You can actually see whether they rent or own. You can see how long they've lived there. There's all sorts of key points that's going to come up. That's going to know what your annual income is. And what this does is allows you to get prepared for the type of conversation you're going to have. You can skip the doors that are renters, right? You don't want to waste all that time, and that helps with the mindset, especially if you're going to a new thing, right? So you're going to start selling solar for the first time. You know how to respond to all the things with roofing, but you don't know what to say for solar. Now you know at least some things that you can start talking about. Wow, it looks like you guys have lived here for 5 years, something like that. They may turn around and say, no, your data's wrong, but So having all this information, so when Dallen's talking about like having the right information, the right tools, so there's lots of technologies out there that have this. We have it built into ours. If you don't use ours, there's other technologies out there that can get this data for you, but it's really important to know these things. It'll save you time, it'll save mindset, it'll help you stay in a better space because you're not wasting time on things that are not going to yield anything.
I love it. All right, guys, this is the Rise Above show. We talk about, well, I want to make sure, obviously we talked about the solar stuff, and this is super important with what I've been trying to do with helping roofers implement solar division, but we also make sure that with everything that we do that we focus on the a full personal business leadership development, right? And so I want to hear, I usually ask a series of rapid fire questions, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep this portion brief, and I just want to ask you guys, with you guys starting Quativa, what's been a big obstacle that you guys have faced, maybe a big failure, and how were you able to overcome and rise above?
Great question. We started this process back in 2017. We built an app, and it was in beta for about a year, and we threw it away. But we learned tremendous amount, invested heavily into it. But through that process, we were able to dial in exactly the efficiency. So, yes, spend a lot of money that just got thrown away. But what we're continuing to learn is really what matters most. And there's a lot of sizzle, a lot of flash out there. It's easy to get distracted. You think the homeowner wants that. Really, for me, it is about having a really core end-to-end solution, and really being able to have something that's robust and can really process what you need. And so that's what we
think about. I guess to the listeners, think about how that applies to the business that they've got. Of how do you might put in a lot of money into creating this thing, but how do you continue to improve? And like, if something's not working, don't keep working on either. Unless you have a really good intuition that this thing is going to work in the long term, like focus on the things that are working and use the failures as an opportunity to learn and to rise above, right?
And the great thing is our reps are very vocal. They know exactly what they need, what they want, and then they communicate it to us very pointedly and allow us to be able to give them what they need. And so for us, it's listening to our customers, listening to what makes their jobs easier and just allows them to sell more. For us, it's anything that we could possibly create that will allow them to be more efficient, be able to earn more income, and help spread solar around the world. For us, it really is. We want to make it. Everyone rises when the ocean goes up. Or I'm sure I'm saying that thing wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, I appreciate y'all coming on. I'm excited to have y'all at RoofCon this year, and excited to see you guys here at Door to Door. It's like the music just came on,
I know,
just
right?
to
take us out.
Whatever,
I do want to say, it is great seeing you here. We will be at RoofCon again, but RoofCon last year was absolutely fantastic. And Dallen just talked about listening to our customers and listening to the reps that we're working with. We actually listened to all the roofers that we met out there, and understanding what they need has made us go back to say, look, how can we cater to them more? What are the things they need? That's why I keep bringing up the education piece, because I think it's really important. We were on a panel last year on how to pick an EPC. Had nothing to do with us, right? But we wanted to help educate, and that's really what we stand for. Like, don't just come on our platform. We actually want you to know things first and ask us the questions. We'll be happy to answer you and guide you in the right direction. And if that guide means working with a different company, then we're going to tell you to go work with it. We'll probably make the introduction.
Yeah. Cool, guys.
We're here to help. Let us know how we can support you.
Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being here on the Rise Above show. And guys, if you've tuned in and you stayed here this far, we really appreciate it. Go ahead and check out roofing.com. We've got a lot of cool stuff going on. We're always having retreats and events. And with that, we'll go ahead and sign off. Thank you for tuning in to the Rise Above show presented by roofing.com. Peace out.